my name is Margaret Adele, and welcome to the channel update for March. And I have got to stop hyping up these months as I go into them because, whoo, did I set myself up for way too much. I keep telling myself that 2022 is going to be my year of rest and focusing on resetting, and then I say things like, I'm going to push myself into a reading challenge over spring break. Like, why? So first up, how was the personal life work stuff going? I have gotten back on meds that I was on before, and they have really aggravating symptoms to begin with, but thankfully the worst of it has passed, and it just meant that I had a really slow spring break trying to get through all of that. Nothing else much to talk about on that front. Work-wise, we are currently in the big stretch. If you've ever worked in education, the stretch from spring break to summer break is some of the hardest because you don't have much of anything else to look forward to save for the end of the year. There might be like a day or two off for Easter or something like that, but for the most part, there's not a lot to look forward to for the literal rest of the school year, and the temperature is a lot better, and so it's nicer outside, and so kids don't want to be inside. So the last 2 months can start to feel like a slog, and I've been struggling with my headspace in that a little bit, because if I sit and I look at everything that has changed over the course of these last few weeks, things have genuinely improved. We've gotten the staffing situation figured out, and we have, organized better, and I'm trying to think of ways to say this without giving too much away, but generally speaking, steps have been taken at both the staff level and administrative to technically make it easier, but my brain is still caught in a very negative headspace, so I gotta work on that. And we've had meetings and we have trainings and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But I kind of have to figure out a way to reset my brain with that, because the job isn't much different than what it was before, and we've gone through struggle periods. I just have to reformat my own brain and how I address things, because working in BD, if you're not careful, your negative thought processes and negative emotions can come through and actually make the job harder. It is one of those jobs where speaking in a bright tone and being optimistic and being very positive can actually make the job easier, because you're affecting other behaviors positively. So I got to get back to that. And in general, I gotta get on some kind of scheduling thing with myself, because I can't just totally chill and do nothing. I tried that over spring break when the symptoms were getting at me. But the problem is that if I do that for too long, I enter this weird haze where then doing literally anything, even things that I objectively need to do, becomes a struggle. I am married with my own house. I can't just ignore the laundry and the cleaning and the dishes just because I'm having a time. So I got to figure out how to stay productive enough that the household still runs and I still get the serotonin of productivity, because I do get a mental benefit from being productive without it feeling like too much. And I do have one of those little school planners that I got for free from work, so I might start using that and organizing out my weeks and laying out when I do what in a general sense, or start doing things doing X amount of dishes every night, even if I don't do all the dishes, just so I don't have a giant mountain to do when it feels like too much. But that we're still working on. I'm still playing around with some things for that. Now, let's move on to the reading and booktube. So, I told myself that I was going to do this giant reading challenge, reading 200 pages a day and vlogging it. That did not happen at all. Dropped that pretty quick once I started feeling like crap, but I have managed to get through the one review book that was giving me a little bit of a struggle. I don't like giving out 2 stars, but that happens sometimes. And I only read 2 other review books over the month of March, which is not nearly as much as I would have liked to read, but at least it's there. At least we got that, which I'm also trying to focus on the positives. Like, I did get 3 review books off my list. And I've also gotten a lot better at genuinely looking for what I want to read in like a, ooh, this sounds really cool, I'm hyped for it way, which has been a lot of paranormal romance recently. But it's been very nice to be like, I can't wait to read this book when I get home. Instead of, I have to read the 100 pages for today, it's, ooh, I can't wait. And I actually like read a book in a day, and I read like I think it was like over 300 page book in 2 days. So I've gotten that feeling a lot lately of just getting lost in the story and loving it. It just wasn't that for any of my review books. And to be fair, it wasn't any of their fault. For like Shami Stovall, for example, I put off reading the last 35 pages of Starmark Vendetta because I knew it was going to be a giant like cliffhanger explosion-filled ending, and I wasn't prepared for it. So I gotta try to see if I have anything else on my review list that's low-key, and unfortunately I don't think I do. I need to find more lighthearted romance indie authors to review or something. But also for the booktube videos, I had a couple videos that I put a bit more thought into that I was really invested in. The first being the Books for Gay D&D Nerds video. That was a lot of fun. I went full Ren Fair gear with elf ears and a flower crown. And then one of the books I had for that video has kind of been gaining some traction online and a lot of positive attention, and there's been a lot of discourse about it. So then I took that book and I made a standalone video for that one, which isn't out as of filming this, but will be out as of this being posted. So I will definitely put that down in the description below. I mean, they'll both be down in the description. But moving forward into April, when it comes to reading and booktube, I am going to focus. I'm probably going to do more on rambling discussions. I haven't done those before March in a hot minute, and I kind of want to just sit and talk about random topics related to books. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on readathons lately, which could be a hot take. I'm not sure. But also, I want to start doing like the little things to prepare for a bigger video, as opposed to being like, I have to prepare this entire video in one night. Being like, no, let's start prepping in little tiny pieces and then put it all together at the end. Like filming maybe like a 1-minute segment for this video and then putting it aside for days. And then filming another little segment, like that kind of thing. And also, I do need to find some way to make the 400-page books I have on my review list less daunting, because there are so many. I think at this point, over half of the books on my review list are 400 pages or more. One is upwards of 600 pages. And they're all books that I'm interested in, obviously, or I would not have accepted them. But this means that I gotta get past my own brain and but if I focus on this 400-page book, I won't read as many books and I won't get that far ahead of my Goodreads goal, which is dumb, because I am already so far ahead of my Goodreads goal that I could skip an entire month of reading and still be ahead. That's how much I've done. I think I'm currently sitting at like 36 books for the year. And I'm still like, but if I focus on the bigger books, I'll be reading less a month. Like, that's fine. So I might, if I do any kind of challenge for April, it'll be like you can only read X amount of books. I'll do a maximum challenge. You can only read 8 books, so go and read the longer books, bitch. But I am excited for them. I am still hopeful. It is hard for me to not naturally bounce back, and I've been in that state for a while. I've been at that state in life for at least 9 months now, where I keep waiting for my brain to just naturally do its optimist thing and bounce back, and it's not. I am looking into some possible evaluation type things over the summer. I don't have the wherewithal to put that much thought until the end of the year. Just kind of getting through it at this point until my days are a lot more open. And the big thing, of course, is going to be, can I make sure that the summer is as restful as I need it to be? Or am I going to be overcome with the urge to do all the things? We shall see. But thank you so much for watching. I know these updates are never terribly uplifting, but it is nice for me to sit and think through where I'm at and where I'm going next, both in my reading journey and in life. So if you have any big ideas that you're doing for the month of April, please let me know. I would be really interested in learning about that. Have you ever given yourself a reading challenge for any particular reason? I would love to know that as well. And with nothing else to say, I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.